welcome to Home Farm, and today we're going to be talking about Ecoworm, a natural vermicompost fertiliser that we're going to be using this year in our garden. So last year we used Ecoworm for the very first time and we tried it in our vegetable garden and we were really impressed. The results were almost instant. I mean, within a day or 2 days you immediately saw things really just springing to life.
It was quite remarkable because it was the first time that we actually grew vegetables in those beds. They were already in a lovely compost and very rich soil.
Good condition.
And so things were growing really well. And then we introduced the Ecoworm. And literally over 24 hours we saw stuff just sprouting, and the results were, as you said, virtually instant.
Yeah, very impressive. And you know, I think that there is quite a bit of controversy with regards to fertilizers that have instant results, and a lot of those are chemical fertilizers or synthetic fertilizers. And there is obviously a risk with a synthetic chemical fertilizer that you can use an incorrect amount, and therefore damage your plants. So the one thing that I find really comforting when I use Ecoworm is that, apart from the fact that I am sticking to their quantities and their dosages, is that I know that it's an organic, natural solution. So it's just, you can't use too much of it that damages your plants. And so I just feel really assured by that.
I mean, I did some reading with regards to, so this is a vermicompost fertilizer, and what that basically means is that it is the product of earthworms. They create their own compost. So these guys at Ecoworm have actually gone and taken all those nutrients and the thing that makes vermicompost so great, and they put it in a solution form. And what makes vermicompost in particular a very highly effective fertilizer is that it's water soluble. So as soon as you add it to water and it gets introduced to the soil, the plants, the vegetables, or whatever you're actually adding it to, are able to derive those nutrients and benefits almost instantly, which is why we see the results. Well, that's why we saw the results that we saw last year.
I have to be honest, in previous years we have used other fertilizers.
Oh, we've used plenty,
and we've tried other natural fertilizers like seaweed. I know that there is a big fan base of seaweed. A lot of people love their seaweed solutions. For us personally, I've never seen great results with it.
We didn't.
It's never not helped, but it's never really helped. It's just kind of...
It hasn't been a noticeable impact.
No, it's just kind of helped a bit, and intermittently with certain plants I see better results. I think with the Ecoworm fertilizers, what I really respect and appreciate with them is that no matter which plant I use it on, I see a result. I see an impact, and I think that for us that's the one thing that's really helped us be loyal to the brand.
Oh, definitely. I mean, even one of the other things that I've done this year is that we're growing all of our vegetables from seed. So we just left them in the compost that we originally planted them in, and as soon as I started to see the first shoots coming out, I added a very small dose of Ecoworm to all of those, and again within 24 hours a lot of those seedlings doubled or quadrupled in size.
Yeah, amazing.
So the results are just so quick, and it's really nice because it is completely organic, it is completely natural, and it just works.
Yeah, it's good for the environment, and I feel like it's also safe. We've got pets and animals, and so for us it's just a non-compromise. We're not prepared to compromise on using things that aren't natural in the garden, because we have had pets and things try and eat things years and years ago. And
I mean, even the pellet fertilizers that you kind of sprinkle, obviously they're all long release, so they lie on your soil for
a long time.
And animals might just look at it as food or whatever it is, and they might pack it. So this, because it's water soluble. And
to be fair, some of those do say that they're pet safe.
True.
But I am still not comfortable with our pets kind of eating that, irrespective of whether it is pet safe. It's not exactly good for them.
No.
I like the fact that Ecoworm is liquid, that it's going straight into the ground. For me personally, I know everybody's different and every gardener is different. So some people, maybe do want to put something on that's a slow slow release. Other people like us, we want to apply over and over again. We want to apply every 2 weeks. I like to do that. I like to be very active in our garden. It gives me a chance to really go around and inspect the garden every 2 weeks and really check every single area. So it kind of commits me to that. And I just enjoy using a liquid fertilizer and know it's going straight into the ground and doing what it's supposed to be doing.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think another thing that I really appreciate is just the application is just so easy. So for me, I just, you're kind of pottering around the garden, you're weeding, you're doing things, your mind is in so many different places, thinking about, all your different plants. And so for me, I just don't have the patience to stand at a watering can and start to do the maths and calculations on how much I should be using, to what quantities and the dilution rates. So for me, I just love the fact that I just go over to the tap, I squeeze out this gives me a full dose of 50 mils. It's so easy. You just squeeze and it fills this up, and you just pour that straight into your watering can and away you go. And for us, we bought the 10-litre watering can specifically so that we knew that 50 mils into 10 litres, that was the ratio, and that works really well for us and just doesn't require any brain power and just so easy and convenient.
And that ratio works for just about everything. I think it's only the trees that require a double dose. So the trees take 100 mils, so you just squeeze out 2 of those. But as you said, if you are working with a powdered fertilizer, for example, and they say, you're going to have X amount of grams, then you've got to start weighing it out. But because it's liquid and it's already pre-measured for you, the simplicity is it's just really easy to use. So this year we're going to be using Ecoworm for the vegetable garden again. We've got an extra mix which is for tomatoes and peppers. We are going to be growing a lot of our own tomatoes this year, so again, that's going to be quite helpful. We've already applied the first dosage to our fruit trees, and I think we're going to do all of our trees and all of our shrubs over the course of this gardening season.
Done a couple of giveaways, haven't we, on Instagram, over on our Instagram channel, so head over to that and always check out. We might have a giveaway on, and we've been really pleased that every person that has won a bottle of Ecoworm has actually come back to us and said, wow, this actually really worked. And so that has been really reassuring, and it's really it gives us so much confidence to recommend it as a product when we actually, it's not just us, it's not just in our garden, we're not just like lucky in our where we are, or environmental reasons. It is actually other people all across the UK who've won a bottle and come back to us and said it's really good. And you're going to be growing dahlias for the first time this year. Yeah, I'm really excited. So when we moved into this property, it had lots and lots of evergreen, predominantly evergreen shrubs and trees, which is obviously great. But we really didn't have any flowers here at all, did we? Very few. So there was just nothing floral in this garden, the front or the back. And so last year I put in a lot of floral plants, which look really beautiful and lovely. But now I actually want to step up the production of that. So we're putting in 3 large beds at the front, and we're going to be putting in some pretty serious effort into producing a lot of dahlias this year. So we're going to have a good flower production this year, I think, and they are going to be treated with Ecoworm very regularly. I think so. So that's going to be really interesting to see how strong those how it affects the flowers long term. So for regular updates, please feel free to head over to our Instagram channel or our blog and see what the latest is, what's going on in our garden this year.
We'll be posting everything there, and then at the end of the gardening season, come kind of October, November, we'll do a wrap-up video showcasing everything and summarizing everything. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you on our next video.
Happy gardening.